So Spider-Man No Way Home came out a while ago and I didn't see it about a month ago. So I saw the film twice and now I'm here to give you my thoughts on it, and I will tell you what I like about it and then I'll tell you what I hate about it. And in the end, I will give you my rating out of 10. And with that being said, I am Don Hayden. So welcome to Film Therapy. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, please turn your notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you for tuning in. Let us get started. I will say from the get-go that this video is not going to be too long. It's probably going to be about 10 to 15 minutes long because there isn't really much I want to say about this movie. If you have been watching my videos in the past few months, then you should know that if I enjoyed a movie, I don't usually take too long talking about it. I will just point out the things that I liked about it and then briefly talk about the things that I did not like. And the videos are usually short. By the way, there's a helicopter passing by outside, so if you hear the noise, please, I'm sorry for that. There's nothing I can do about that. It's just a coincidence that I'm recording while there is a helicopter flying outside in the middle of the night for no reason. Anyway, I guess it's going to be obvious by now that I actually like this movie because I did not expect to like it at all, because I personally hated the previous Spider-Man movies in the MCU. I did not like Spider-Man Homecoming. I did not like Spider-Man Far From Home. So I wasn't really looking forward to Spider-Man No Way Home. The title doesn't make sense, and I don't know why they call it No Way Home, even though the title doesn't have anything to do with the movie. Anyway, we are going to talk about the film by discussing the plot, the characters, the visuals, and then I give my final thoughts, and then the video will be over. So hopefully that this doesn't take too long. Let's just get started. So in the last movie, Mysterio revealed to the world that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and he painted him as the villain. So this movie starts with exactly that. No time has passed since the events of the last movie, so Peter's life changes now that everybody knows who he is, and this affects his loved ones, and it affects them in a negative way. So he goes to Doctor Strange and asks him to make everyone forget that he is Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange attempts to do so. But the spell goes wrong, and this causes entities from other universes to cross into our universe, and by our universe I mean the MCU. So this is how the villains from the past Spider-Man movies show up in this movie, but not only them, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man also show up in this movie, and it was kinda awesome, to be honest. Now, Doctor Strange wants to send them back to their universes, but if he does that, they will die, because you see, when they were pulled into our universe, they were about to die in their universe. Because if you remember well, they actually died in their universes. Not all of them, of course. Like Sandman didn't die, and who else didn't die? The lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man movies didn't die. So all the villains that died in the previous Spider-Man movies were going to die if they were going to be either taken back to their universes. They were going to die. So Spider-Man wanted to save them. Now, Doctor Strange tries to prevent Spider-Man from attempting to save these guys, basically, because he wants to send them back to their universe, but Spider-Man wants to save them. Now they have a little fight about that, and Spider-Man wins, and he tries to save them, and in the end, Norman Osborn ends up killing Aunt May, which was an emotional scene, and this makes Tom want to kill him. This is when the other Spider-Mans show up. I will call them by their actor names so that I don't confuse them and I don't confuse you. So the three Spider-Mans work together to cure the villains and save them from their fate. And the villains try to stop them from doing that because they're villains, so why not? Eventually they manage to cure everybody except Norman Osborn, and Tom wants revenge against Norman, but Tobey and Andrew save him from falling into that darkness because, you know, they actually went through this before with Uncle Ben and the others. In the end, they defeat all the villains and they send them back to their universes. Tom asks Doctor Strange to do the spell again and make everybody forget that he's Peter Parker, because that's the only way they can save the universe or prevent other entities from other universes from coming into our universe. It's a bit confusing if you think about it out of context, but you gotta watch the movie to understand it. So by the end of the movie, everybody knows that Spider-Man exists, but they don't know who Peter Parker is. So they kind of forgot that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but they still remember that Spider-Man exists and he is there. And obviously they don't know who Peter Parker is, and yeah, that's basically it at the end. This was very entertaining to watch, especially seeing all three Spider-Man fighting alongside each other. I'm a big fan of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, so it was just chills watching the movie, to be honest. It just brought the fanboy out of me, and I genuinely enjoyed it. The death of Aunt May was handled pretty well, and it nearly had me in tears, to be honest. A lot of people were pissed that she did the whole "with great power comes great responsibility" thing. I didn't have a problem with that. I thought it was great for a change because, to be honest, I'm kind of tired of the whole Uncle Ben thing just as much as I'm kind of tired of Superman's origins. It's just as much as I'm kind of tired of Batman's parents dying in a fucking alleyway. So I don't want to see that shit again, bro. Now, Tom and Toby, they're here to help Spider-Man, as in Tom. Wait, I confused myself. This is what I was trying to avoid. So, so Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans show up to help Tom Spider-Man because he's going through something that they actually went through. And I genuinely enjoyed that. I thought the dynamic between them was great and it was handled pretty well. So I don't really have much to complain about when it comes to the plot. But there are things that don't make sense that I'm going to talk about later in the video. So keep that in mind. The characters are handled pretty well in my opinion. I'm not going to say much about them because I don't really have much to say about them, honestly. All three Spider-Mans were handled pretty well. Nothing felt off character for any of them, and they did exactly what you would expect them to do in any given situation. Like I already said, I loved the dynamic between the three Spider-Mans, and I liked the supporting cast too, but I did not like Doctor Strange in this movie, to be honest. To me, he was a bit off character in some cases, and I hate the fact that he lost to Spider-Man. Like, dude, you have the power to go toe-to-toe with fucking Thanos, and you can't beat Spider-Man in base? Yeah, I'm not buying that, bro. I'm not buying that. That was retarded. I also never really liked MJ. I never liked MJ in the Tobey Maguire movies. I don't know. I don't like MJ at all. Even in the animated series, I never liked MJ as a character. I guess I just don't like MJ. And as for Ned, I don't know if it's Ned or what. I don't know, man. Yeah, he was weird how he was able to use magic. To me, that felt a bit too forced. Like it came out of nowhere, and I personally don't like it when supporting characters get superpowers. I call it the unnecessary power-up syndrome, where characters get superpowers in a dumb way with dumb explanations, just so that they can be useful to the plot. I found that stupid. Now, the villains were pretty awesome. I loved Sandman, he was great. I liked that they used the same actor, and at first I thought that they were going to use CGI the whole time because he was mostly CGI. But then after he was cured, they used the actual actor from the previous movies. So I also loved Electro. His design was great. It's actually a redesign. He had the original design in the Andrew Garfield movies, and it was great to see a redesign in this movie because he actually looked better. He looked human. He wasn't like that blue thing that we saw. He was actually a human being with an actual body. So yeah, he was great, man. And then Green Goblin was absolutely amazing, bro. Like, Willem Dafoe is just brilliant in this role. He plays Green Goblin so well, and I really enjoyed his performance. And as for the Lizard, yeah, I didn't care much about him. I didn't really like him in The Amazing Spider-Man either. I just don't like the character at all. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say much about him. One of the characters I didn't really like very much in this movie was Doctor Strange. Like I said, he's just a complete idiot in this movie. Like, almost everything he does is just off character for him. I'm not going to talk about the specifics, I don't have the time, but I will give an example of how he decides to cast a spell that is this dangerous without even taking precautions in case anything goes wrong. Like, this is shown when Peter asks if he didn't try to, like, if he can, like, actually talk to the admins of the school that they were rejected in. Like, Doctor Strange didn't bother asking if he tried. He just went straight to casting a spell that is so dangerous it can bring entities from other fucking universes. Yeah, Doctor Strange doesn't make sense in this movie. But anyway, I'm not gonna go too deep into the characters. I enjoyed the movie enough to ignore the bad things about it. I would be nitpicking anyway, so let's just move on. Now, here are the questions that I have that I need answers for, because this movie doesn't make sense sometimes. Now, I have, I think, 3 or 4 questions that I'm gonna ask, and if anybody has answers to those questions, please give them to me in the comments below, because I would really like to know. Question number 1. Doctor Strange stated that everyone who knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man was dragged into our universe. So everybody who knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man is going to be dragged into our universe during a spell, because Peter messed with it, obviously. So can somebody please tell me how in the world Electro knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man? Because in this very movie, Electro admits that he didn't know who Spider-Man was under that mask. So was Doctor Strange lying when he said that? Was he mistaken or something? What happened? The second question is, Peter goes to Doctor Strange and asks him to reverse time so that he can prevent his identity from being known. Doctor Strange suggests that they make everyone forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, a dangerous spell that can lead to, the events of the movie. So my question is, wouldn't it be better to make everyone forget about Mysterio? I don't know, it sounds better to me, like, why not try that at least? And the third question is, Spider-Man with his Iron Spider suit was struggling with Dr. Octopus. In fact, he got beat up by Dr. Octopus. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange fought against fucking Thanos with 4 fucking Infinity Stones, and he did so well against him. So how in the world was Spider-Man in base without his Iron Spider suit able to straight up beat Doctor Strange in a one-on-one fight in the fucking mirror dimension? Like, this doesn't make sense, bruh. This really pissed me off. I didn't like that at all. But anyway, the fourth question was, Doctor Strange had to work really hard to learn magic. Like, remember how he struggled to open a portal in his first Doctor Strange movie? Ned just does it by accident. Yeah, he can just do magic somehow. Like, how? I mean, I know it was mentioned that his family has magic or whatever, but like, what? Yeah, you know what? Let me stop complaining, bro. Those are just some of the things that that really bothered me in this movie, and they're just questions that I couldn't stop asking myself while watching the movie, and I really need answers to those questions. So if you have an answer to those questions, please leave them down below in the comments. That would be really helpful. I enjoyed this movie overall, and I'll probably watch it again sometime in the future. It was an overall great movie, and it was worth watching indeed. Now, I will rate it an 8 out of 10. It's one of my favorite MCU movies to date, and I really love what they did with it. So with all that being said, thank you for watching. This is Don from Film Therapy, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I will see you in the next video. Don Hayden's out. Bye.